Hello and welcome to Inside Cottonwood. I am your host, the library director, Ryan Bigelow, and September is Library Card Sign-Up Month. So today we really want to focus on what you can do with your library card, why you might register for a library card, and then how to actually get your library card. So today I have two very special guests. I have known them all of their lives. My kids are here to join us today. I have Ayla and Reese Bigelow. Welcome. Thank you guys for being here. And thank you for being brave enough to be here, right? So we did some practicing last night. And do you remember our very first question? Okay. Do you remember the first time, Ayla, this is for you. Do you remember the first time that you got your library card?
I was probably 3 or 4.
And do you remember what were you feeling when you got your library card?
I was feeling kind of nervous.
You were nervous about it. Why were you nervous?
I was kind of nervous because I thought I had to go through a challenge.
Oh, there was a challenge in front of you. But what ended up actually happening?
I just had to sign my name.
You signed your name. Can I see your library cards there? It looks like you've got a couple of them.
Yes. So here's my first one.
Your very first library card. Isn't that neat? Let me see the signature there. So is that all you had to do there was sign your name?
Yep.
And then Daddy did the rest, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so all you had to do was sign your name, and then what's that one?
This is my second one I got.
This is your second one. Now how come you have two library cards, Ayla?
Because I lost this one. And I had to go and get it, and then I lost this one, and we actually found both of them last night.
And we found both of them because we were prepping for the show, and we scrambled to find library cards, and we found both, right? That was nice. Now we never lose our library cards because Daddy has your library card and Reese's library card on his app, which is on his phone, so Daddy never loses library cards anymore.
Okay.
Reese, do you remember when you got your library card?
Yes, when I was 1 or probably 3.
When you were probably 3, right? So what did you have to do to get your library card?
I only had to sign my name and...
Let me see, can I see it? That says Reese, doesn't it? Good job. So basically, all you have to do is be old enough to sign your name to have your own card, right?
Yeah.
So you guys were both about 3 or 4 years old when you got your first cards.
Yeah.
So, Ayla, back to you. Do you remember when you first started using the library?
I first started using the library when my class used to go on field trips in Pre-3.
Right, so you would actually take field trips and Daddy would go with you, right? This is even before I worked at the library. And what would you do on those field trips?
I would sing songs, dance, and read books and do arts and crafts there.
Right, so I think we have pictures of you with Miss Shirley and Miss Joyce, singing some songs, doing some dancing, listening to some stories. That was wonderful. Reese, do you remember when you first started going to the library?
Yes, probably when I was 1 or 4.
Right. I think we have a photo of both of you guys at the library when you were very small. Reese, just a baby and learning how to work on computers. And Ayla, a little bit older, but working on computers too. So that was one of your first experiences there, but you both went often for story times and for different events.
Yeah.
So you didn't need a library card to do that, but what you do need a library card for is to check out books, right? Reese, you have a book in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get that book?
From the library.
From the library. And do you remember what that book is about?
Kind of.
Kind of. It looks like it's about gardening. Is that correct? Yeah. We read a book about gardening, and we learned about scarecrows, and we learned about planting food, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Planting peas.
Planting peas. And we got to talk about planting peas, and we used to have a garden at our house, right?
Yeah.
And what would we plant there?
We would plant...
Mint.
Squash.
Squash. Now squash.
And watermelon.
And watermelon. And now there's a garden at the library, right?
Yes.
Yes, and I believe there's corn and squash at the library,
Yes.
which is another way that we can showcase how we can learn about food and other things outside. So, Ayla, you have a book in front of you there.
Yes.
You read that entire book. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that one of the biggest books you've ever read?
I don't think so.
No, you think you're getting pretty good and pretty practiced at reading?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that book was about a little girl who had
Stomach
was nervous. Reese, can you stop? Thank you. That was nervous, and she had to be brave to do things like go on TV on interviews, right?
Yes.
So we got to talk about how to be brave and what to do when you're nervous and how to handle some of those situations, right?
Yes.
Yep. So can you show me a couple of those pictures?
There's her talking about her stomach problems and trying to be brave to be at school, and was sick a couple of those days, and friends.
Right. So it's about friends and how to deal with growing up, basically.
Yes.
So one of the keys about reading books with your kids is that you're able to have those conversations with your kids and teach them the way to deal with some of those harder situations, especially as they're growing up, because we know that growing up can be hard often, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Reese, can we go back to you? What are some of your first memories at the library, particularly, do you remember any fish?
I remember the goldfish that we have at our house.
Oh, because we took the goldfish home during COVID, right?
And then they got new fish.
And now there's new fish at the library, right? I believe there are a bunch of guppies at the library, guppy fish.
I think there's 12 of them.
You think there are 12? I believe there are 12 guppy fish at the library, but then they keep having babies, right?
So there's going to be 16.
So now there are going to be 16 guppy fish.
And then 20.
And then there'll be 20. So every time we go to the library, we take a look at the fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Reese, even as recently as this morning, we watched some things on Canopy. What is Canopy, and what do you like to watch on Canopy?
So Canopy is so look on your TV on the app, and Canopy is where a bunch of movies that are, some movies are not fake, and some movies are fake.
Okay.
So yeah, we were watching all kinds of movies. We even watched some that were not fake, and we watched.
What's your favorite show on Canopy?
Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers. And what's Bushwhackers about?
Bushwhackers is about boys that I think they're in the same age that are just one smaller than them, and they're pretty much twins.
And what do they do?
They do challenges for animals, and that one that we saw was about this one of the brothers trying to race a whale shark.
He raced a whale shark. And were there other what other animals do they do on that show?
They do spiders, snakes, tarantulas, peacocks, hens, raccoons.
All kinds of animals, right? They have all kinds of animals. Do you have any animal facts for us that you'd like to share?
No.
Nope, no facts today. Okay. So that's our first segment. Thank you both for chatting with me. One of the things I would like to point out is how easy it is now to get a library card. When Ayla and Reese were getting their library card, they had to go to the library and get it, which is still an easy process. But now you can get your library card online at ctwpl.info and sign up for your library card and have it available right then and there. So we want to make sure that everybody knows it is very quick and very easy now to get a library card. You can register online. Just go to the website and look for register now for your library card. So when we come back, let's talk a little bit about some of the programs that you guys have done at the library and some other ways that you can use the library and your library card, okay? This is Ryan Bigelow, this is Inside Cottonwood, and we will be right back.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.org.
Hello and welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Ryan Bigelow, the Library Director for the City of Cottonwood. And I have two very special guests with me right now, Reese and Ayla Bigelow. And we've been talking about library card registrations and why you might want a library card and things you can do at the library. Because yes, we want to let everybody know that we are open. We are modifying what we do and how we do it right now. But we want to talk about a little bit about the things you can do and some of the ways that that kids and people of all ages can utilize the library. So, Ayla, can I ask you, you both have an older sister. She's been doing something on the library. Can you tell us what she's been doing with the library?
The library has been helping her try to find a college.
Right, so there's some college search tools that we have at the library's website, and that has helped her try to find where she wants to go to school, right? So Daddy and Sissy have been working a little bit about where she might want to go to school and how we want to get there, and we've been using the library website to do that, right?
Yes.
Anything else that your sister's been doing?
She's been helping out at the library.
Yep, she volunteered a little bit, right? So we can always use volunteers at the library and even teen volunteers at the library, right? She was helping us with some shelving and organizing, so that was also a way that she could participate. Now, Reese, you recently got a prize from the library. Do you remember why you got a prize from the library?
Because I've been doing enough reading.
Right, we had a summer reading program, right? And Reese, you logged enough minutes to get a prize. Do you remember what prize you got?
I got a donut puzzle.
A donut puzzle. And how's that going?
Good. But there's actually 105
pieces. That's a lot of pieces on that one, right? Yeah, that's a lot of pieces. So before COVID, we had some other activities that we were able to do, right?
Yes.
Ayla, what is one of the activities that you remember doing at the library?
We did star parties.
Star parties. Can you tell us a little bit about what a star party is?
A star party is where you get to look in a telescope and you get to see the moon, the stars, there's galaxies, planets, shooting stars, and everything in the sky.
Everything in the sky. It was beautiful, right? We got to see, I remember seeing the moon very up close, like we could touch it almost. Yeah,
yes.
That was a wonderful experience. Reese, you got to do something else at the library. What did you do around Christmas time last year?
We went on a float, the library float.
The library had a float in the Christmas parade, right? And we got to ride in it and walk along it, and we passed out a bunch of goodies to people and also gave them instructions on how to get their library card, right? Okay, well that's a lot of stuff about our library with you two. Is there anything else that you want to add? Did I forget a question? No. How did I do?
Good.
I did okay? You guys did great. Okay, good job. Okay, so when we come back, we will be talking from a different perspective. Take another mom in our community and ask her some questions about how she uses the library and what that does for her. Library card sign-up month is in September, so everybody please use this as an opportunity to go online and register for your library card. And next, we'll be right back with more Inside Cottonwood. This is Ryan Bigelow, Library Director. We'll see you soon.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.org.
Hello and welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Ryan Bigelow, Library Director for the Cottonwood Public Library. And today we've been talking a little bit about library cards. September is Library Card Sign-Up Month, so we want to encourage everyone to go out and get their library card this month. But more importantly, why would you get a library card? What do you do with it? How does it work? So we are lucky enough to now have Patricia Chambers join us. She is a local businesswoman, mother, family person. So Patricia, you have fairly recently moved to this community. Can you tell me, when did you get your library card?
My husband and our two kids and I moved here about 2 years ago, and the library, when you want to get connected in a new community, you kind of have to figure out how to do that. And connecting with other moms is kind of the first thing that I was looking for, and so the library seemed like a pretty strong place to start because they offered story time for both different kid ages. And then also family craft time, and there was several different events along the way that I thought that would be a really great way to kind of meet some other moms in the same walk of life as me when trying to connect and mom together.
That's a wonderful answer, because we didn't even talk about this, but our little motto or logo is connecting the community, and that's really what we want to do, that is a perfect example of how to do that. So you kind of naturally geared towards, okay, where do I connect? I go to the library. Has the library been something that's always been a part of your life? Are you new to the libraries? How did you get started in libraries in general?
I'm a reader, so growing up I navigated to the library even as a teenager, kind of naturally went there. But then as I had kids, looking for places to go when the weather was bad, looking for how do I get some books without spending a fortune on Amazon. So that kind of, and with, today's world, you can go on Facebook and you can watch them online, and there's online story time, and it was kind of nice to just have other avenues of entertainment that I thought were safe for the kids when you're always looking for something of pretty good value. Right. So.
And we would love to think and remind everybody that the value is good at the library because everything we do is free. So that is another great way to utilize your resources. Now, as a parent, story time for me and the kids have been amazing. It's just been something that we've tried to ingrain in them. Benefits of story time as a parent reading to your kids. What's your perspective on that?
We stand by, I think there's a poster in the school that says if you read to them every 20 minutes every day, it increases their vocabulary and their life skills and whatever that exponential benefit is. Sure. So we try to do that. And then also, Miss Joyce and Miss Adela at the library and the youth services program, they've just been so cute and so sweet, and they teach us songs and things that we didn't know, and they're even, now that we can't go in person, they've done such a great job of, I'm sure it's tough on their end to sing songs to a camera with no kids there to sing and dance around, but it teaches the repetition and the songs and the learning and the counting and singing about Five Little Monkeys that honestly, then it gives me a chance to not sing about Five Little Monkeys.
And you're not the only parent that it's a break a little bit, but it's a educational and very productive break from parenting is tough, and whatever we can do at the library to make that easier, but also be productive, educational, that's really what we want to be doing. So thank you for saying that. The virtual programming, that Facebook has been amazing, but yet you're right, it's been very challenging to be creative enough to come up with new content, to talk to nobody but a camera. Sometimes we're fortunate enough where there will be people in the building and they will just one person sit and watch. Just to have one person is a huge relief sometimes. So thank you for saying that, because that is a challenge. But just like everybody else, we're just dealing with new challenges, and we just are adapting and getting the best we can. So there are a lot of online resources. I know we talk about not wanting to do as much screen time as we can, but we do have plenty of online resources. We do have the Facebook. We also have an app called Libby. I think you're familiar with that app. Can you tell us how you go about using that?
So I use Libby as a mom. Libby is essentially replaced Audible for me.
Perfect.
So I used to pay for an Audible subscription. So if you're familiar with Audible, you can listen to your book. So I know for other moms, sometimes finding time to sit down and physically read the book is challenging. So I gravitated to listening, and I actually listen with one headphone in, so I can listen to the kids with the other. But while I'm washing dishes, or if the kids are entertained, I do that. And then I discovered Libby on the library's website and downloaded it. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's access to the whole Yavapai network. It was a lot of books to choose from, and I was kind of surprised at how many I could choose from, and super notable authors that I was very familiar with. And I can just download it. I get to check it out for 3 weeks just like others, and I can renew it. I could put a hold on books that I'm like, I follow Rachel Cruz on Instagram, and I want to be on her book club, and then, I put a hold on the book that she had recommended. So then it just sends me an email and says, hey, the book you requested is ready, and I can download it literally like 3 minutes later. And
that is exactly how we want it to be used. You're right, and you made a really good point about Yavapai Library Network. So we purchase books for Libby, Audible, or Overdrive, but the rest of the network does too. So we have 40 libraries in our network. They're all purchasing towards that same access. So you have access to not just our library, but basically 40 libraries. And now we've entered a new Overdrive program too, where you can actually get to Tempe's library now.
Oh, cool.
So we're just trying to expand and increase access that way too. So after this interview, I'm sure I can show you exactly how that goes.
That's cool. I didn't realize that's how there was so many and how that was funded, and it's really cool.
Yep. There's plenty of different ways that you can use our library. That's just one example. Being a working parent myself, I gravitate towards the audiobooks as well, and so I get up in the morning and go for hopefully a 20-minute walk, and that's me and my book time. So I have so many books on hold. Often I just can't keep up with them all because I've got so many on hold, and I guess working in a library, I've got pretty good access to what's up and coming and what's going to be next. But I'm just like you. I had an Audible subscription, and now I'm able to save, I think, $17 or $15 a month, and wherever we can do that, that adds up, and that's valuable. So Libby, that's how you do that. We also have a new program that we'd like to hit on here. We're now checking out STEAM kits. STEAM being the science and technology, hands-on activities, not screen time. So we're very fortunate to have this. Is that something that you're excited about? Can you tell me how you envision you and your family using our new STEAM kits that you can check out?
Okay, so I think this is cool, and when we talked yesterday in preparation for this, I actually was visiting with another mom friend, and we took our babies to the library to go check it out.
Wonderful.
And so we went yesterday, and they showed us kind of how it works and how you check them out. And so they are there. Essentially, it would be a toy or a project, I guess, that you would buy for your kid to do, but now you can check it out from the library. So it was really cool. We checked out it's like an engineering and design playground building kit. So Perfect. My son and I sat down yesterday, and it's still set up on the kitchen table this morning because he's like, Mom, please don't put it away. But it's little connecting pieces, and it's little cards that can give you ideas, but then create your own. And he built a swing set, and he built a slide on a platform, and then a bridge that goes across it. And it was super cool to see him engaging in that, and it was something new, and I didn't have to buy it, which was awesome. And I think it's cool because then we'll check it back in when, he's over it, because he's 4, and another family will be able to use it, and then maybe someday if he's like, Mom, I really liked that, can we do it again? We could go back and get it. So it doesn't take up all the space in the house, all the money in the bank account, but it gives him that educational outlet, which I thought was really cool. And the mom I was with yesterday, her kids are older than mine, and there was this cool, I don't even know how to do it, but it was like snap circuits, where you like connect and create a computer circuit, and then it makes something glow in the dark at the end. So her kids were stoked about that idea.
So something for all ages, something that's away from the screen, something that's interactive, something that, and then as a parent, you're not feeling like you have to keep up and purchase the next toy and the next toy.
Yes.
You can do that all for free using your library, which is exactly what we're looking for.
And they had some cool ones too that were like even for babies, like little connecting pieces for babies. And then she said there's more kits coming. There's like 10 more kits coming that weren't on display yet, and said that a couple of them were like fishing kits, where you can like check out a backpack and it has everything you need to go fishing, which I think is so cool. We don't know how to fish, and we would love to learn, and that's the kind of thing where like the library literally, I'd like to have someone teach me, but I could probably check out a book and a fishing kit and go learn.
And the state park is a great resource for that too. So we have so many great things here in our community, and I'm really glad you touched on all of those, because that makes me feel really good about what we're doing, and providing those opportunities. And it's for kids of all ages, all colors. We don't care what you look like or how you do it. We want you to get out there and be able to do that kind of stuff. So those are the resources that I don't think everybody always thinks about when they think about a library.
Right.
It's very traditional. Okay, well, if I'm not a reader, then I have no use for the library. I think we've touched on some really great and interesting points about beyond books, what the library can offer. I also want to make sure that everybody knows that we now have Wi-Fi hotspots. I know with the kids going back to school, it's been a little bit different, but still there's some models out there where some of it's online, some of it's at school. Wi-Fi is tough sometimes. Even if you have a strong connection with everybody using it all the time, it has been really tough. So Wi-Fi hotspot is something that's portable. You can go take it to the park and go use it. So we want to make sure that everybody knows we have those as well. So Patricia, you've been wonderful. Is there anything else that I didn't ask you about the library that you'd want to touch on? I know maybe during the pandemic, you had some really nice things to say. Is there anything else that I didn't hit?
During the pandemic, I felt like the library was honestly a savior. I know that, literally we went on break and then never went back, for spring break, and that was challenging, and none of us were prepared for that. And I, not the only mom that couldn't then take the kids anywhere. And so we learned, and we taught my 4-year-old son how to, you look in the back of the books and there's pictures of other books that they want to read. And so he'd be like, Mom, I want to read that one. So I taught him how to log into the library account and online, and you can go in and you can search for that book. And it was time that we could spend, looking at the letter and like, okay, we want to search for Pete the cat. So let's find P-E-T-E on the keyboard. And, we find it and we could put a hold on it. And then, we couldn't hang out at the library at that time, but he has learned now. I think we have like something obnoxious, like 37 books on hold.
At least, right?
Yeah. And so we get an email that says, hey, your Pete the Cat Goes Camping book or whatever is ready to come pick up. And he gets super excited. We go and we run in and go to the hold shelf and he can find them. And so I think it's also given him the autonomy of like, hey, this time is different for all of us. But instead of kind of retreating into, okay, well, we can't go to the library. We just do it differently.
Sure.
And so he's learned a skill that I don't think I ever would have honestly taught him before, because we would have just gone and looked, and now he has a whole new skill set and he gets excited about it.
And hopefully the confidence to know that, whatever comes up in life now, I can learn, I know how to do this, and then I can do this by myself.
And we can adapt, right? So he knows he can't go to story time, but we can watch story time, and we can't, we have Canopy now too, and so they're just different things that have become available. So our new normal It just looks different, but it has a lot of library resources in it.
Wonderful. Well, Patricia, thank you so much for joining me
You're
today.
welcome.
You've been a tremendous example and what we're hoping for the rest of this community to know. Free resources that can affect you, can affect your family, can affect your kids. Well, thank you. I'm Ryan Bigelow. This has been Inside Cottonwood. I want you to remember that September is Library Card Sign-Up Month. Go get your library card. Register at the library. We are open. Register online, ctwpl.info. And we'll be seeing you at the library or online very soon. Thank you so much.